Well, hello, folks, and welcome in. I hope you guys are having a great week. It's a busy week. Yes, it's May the 4th, Star Wars. Yes, tomorrow's Cinco de Mayo, but it's also Teacher Appreciation Week. So we actually have a brand new scent to release from Los Muertos Beard Company. I know not all of you guys have tried Los Muertos yet, but you really need to. We got a lot of cool updates coming. And then also we've got El Profesor that we're going to be talking about. So welcome in, folks. So I already saw we got about 10 people in here so far. So great to see you guys. And we're going to bring on, I think for the first time, maybe in the bearded community here, we're going to bring on the owner, Ron, and you're going to hear all about what's going on at Los Muertos and lots of cool stuff happening over there. So let's bring him on in. So welcome, Ron. Great to have you here.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you very much. Happy May the 4th to everybody.
Yeah, may the
Happy
4th be
Star
with
Wars
you.
Day.
And
It's
happy
funny
to,
that you
yeah, go
you
ahead.
mentioned teacher appreciation. I honestly, total coincidence that this was being released during Teacher Appreciation Week.
I wasn't sure if that was strategic or not, but it hit pretty good there. So happy Teacher
The stars
Appreciation Week to
aligned.
all my teachers out there.
Yeah, absolutely. The stars aligned, and here it is.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about yourself there and your company, where you're located, and kind of how you started on this company. And by the way, guys, if you have not seen the branding, you can kind of see the logo here in between us above. It's I really love the theme. I love the scent profiles that I got from Ron originally. If you watch my original video of that, we had the El Caballero and some of the other stuff that we'll talk about. And then you've done just a little tweaking on your carrier oil blend, which I know a lot of folks here are going to be going to kind of perk their ears up when you say that. So I'll
Yeah,
let you go ahead and take it away there for a little bit.
yeah. So I started growing my beard probably a little over 3 years ago.
And E
Maybe
says
not
you've got
quite.
a beautiful white beard too, by the way.
Yeah, I see that. Thanks, E. Appreciate that. Grew it myself. Um, about 3 years ago. And I did a lot of research, and like a lot of people who are sort of getting into growing the beard. Uh, Very overwhelming. Very overwhelming for for everything that's out there. You don't know what does what, and what's good, what's not good. So I just really started kind of diving into it and trying a bunch of different scents and different products. And um I I started getting these, and the more I started using them, the more I felt like a lot of them were very there was a very common theme between them, scent wise, ingredient wise. There was a lot of things that I saw that, you know for me, and I'm not a naturalist by any means, uh but was looking at what I was putting in my face, and really not fully understanding what the effects of it were. So I started looking around, trying to find something that was different and unique, and something that was was natural in a way that when a guy would put it in their face, or when I would put it in my beard, I felt good about what was in there. And to me, that was sort of the biggest wake up call, I think, for me, um, was that I wanted to put something together that I felt was a good natural product, things that are proven beneficial for your skin and for your beard. Um, Come up with some scents that were different than things that were out there in the marketplace. There's a lot of sandalwood, a lot of lavender, a lot of very common sort of scent profiles that I kind of wanted to get away from. And then, to put it with the branding, I wanted to come up with something that was very fun, unique, eye catching, and something that I could build a theme around. So I kind of started thinking through, some ideas, and I was looking at other companies' brandings, a lot of black labels, gold lettering, uh, black and white, different things like that. And I wanted to separate, what I do from what everybody else had done. And so I started coming up with, ideas and what I could sort of construct a brand around you know, from what somebody experiences when they use the product. And so I've always had a thing for Day of the Dead. Growing up here, I'm in the South Texas. um, the culture is all around us, and so I sort of borrowed from that. I took that, and then started coming up with ideas of what I could call my scents. And so the first one that I came up with, um, I've always liked the scent orange. I've always liked the orange profile. And so I came up with a very simple orange and vanilla type beard oil. And that was my first one ever that came to development. Um in thinking about it, what did it remind me of when I used it? What emotion did it invoke? And so it smelled to me like that dreamsicle, the orange popsicle that you got off of the, ice cream truck when you were a kid. Smelling it, it's exactly what it smells like. And so that's what it invoked to me. Hence the name El Palatero, which in Spanish means the ice cream man. So that was sort of my launching point for how all of this developed. Um, Coming up with those creative scents, putting a branding together that you know when somebody looked at it, they could see it even if they didn't. And so here's the other challenge, is that not everybody speaks Spanish, but you can look at the labeling and you can pretty well tell what it is that you're looking at. So when you look at the top right one there, El Lineador, that's the woodsman. You don't have to know what El Leñador means, but you see a guy carrying an axe on his shoulders, you automatically think woodsy. You see a guy pouring a drink, bartender. And that's the Kentucky spiced bourbon oil. El Padrino is the Godfather. That's like an inside of a cigar box type smell. So that was sort of my thought process behind coming up with the branding and the approach to creating the oils.
Awesome. So
Yep.
Nicholas asked, "Is that beard natural color?"
It is. It is. Yeah.
My
All
white
natural.
stripe
Yes,
is
sir.
almost all the way back because I dyed it for
Oh,
video, and it's like
yeah.
out to here. I got this little tip, so yeah, my stripe is just as white as yours. It's like white as snow, and now the sides are getting white again. That's the way it
Yep.
goes. Guys, let me go ahead and let you know what's going on tonight. So you can always save 15% with the code Banjo15. So I want to do that, and then you start to see a little bit of the branding. That was the first thing that caught my eye, and some of the scents, the profiles, they sound pretty generic, but they're actually not. All the ones that you've sent me, Ron, and I don't have all of them. I've got one, two, three, four, five different scents. They all have like a gentlemanly kind of cologne kind of take to it. Except for the barbershop one, right? It's more of a straight barbershop, but
Yeah.
you said you came up with the orange and vanilla that smell like the ice cream, but that's not what I have out of the 5 cents I've got. All the ones I have are more on the gentlemanly side.
Yeah. So I've got currently in production. There's 16 different scents that I have. Two of those are holiday scents that I bring out, right after Thanksgiving, for the holidays. So my normal day to day, lineup is 14 different scents. Um, there's a lot of earthy scents in there. There's some stronger scent profiles. There's some that are a little bit on the lighter side. So I try to really hit a lot of different what people want. I try not to have all of them smell similar. uh the ones that I did send you, the cologne ones, I feel like there's a pretty distinct variant between them.
There are.
Some of them are a little muskier, some of them a little lighter, some of them have a little bite of citrus to it. So it really just try to be different enough, and it's difficult. It's a real challenge, I
I
tell
can
you.
imagine so. So, guys, we'll get into all of those scents too. But somebody asked a good question. And what is the new carrier blend? Now, I don't know if I take the blame or for any of that with the carrier changing up that, but that was the only thing that kind of was a red flag for me was like, okay, there's only a couple of carrier oils now. It's all good natural ingredients, but just being around all of these beer products that I've been around for the past 4 years, I know just a little bit more complex with some more carriers can, it just seems to be the normal. But what you already had was feeling good for me. So I'm knowing just with that little bit of a tweak that I think it was going to improve. And guys, it has. So now we've got a new carrier blend, which is jojoba, coconut, vitamin E, meadowfoam, and argan. All right.
Yep.
And Ron, sorry if I made you spend extra money and all of that stuff.
No, no, no. It's so again, I started this November of 2020. My website actually launched, and I don't know if I'm just a fan of irony or coincidence, but my website launched on November 1st, which, if you know anything about, you know, cultures and things like that, November 1st is Dia de los Muertos. So coincidence, and like today, we mentioned earlier that this is being, El Professor is being released during Teachers Week. So I'll backtrack to that to say that I'm about a year and a half into this. And through my initial researches, I kind of tried to come up with something that I knew would be easy enough to put together for me, because I do this on my own. Every single one of these oils are handmade. um I don't use any machines. I don't use anything that Nothing's outsourced. Everything is counted. All the drops are counted by hand. Uh, so, for me, I had to put something together that was sustainable, for me to do on my own. But now you know, looking back at where I've started and where I'm at now, uh, I've learned a lot more. Uh, you know, pulled together a lot more information, done a lot more research on things that are out there. And so when you mentioned the addition of the other oils, it felt like a natural progression from where I started. Um, which seemed like a pretty decent blend with jojoba oil, coconut oil, vitamin E, because there's great properties, properties for your skin from all those oils. They all serve a specific purpose. The addition of the meadow foam and the argan oil, I think my response to you when you asked me about it, it felt like it bulked it up. Not that the other was super thin
No, it
or
wasn't.
greasy. um that's something that I'm really particular about, because I want to put something out there that you know people will really like, people will really you know be attracted to, from a branding perspective, from a scent perspective, but then also how it feels on their face. um so I do a lot of live events. I do a lot of market events, around the South Texas area. So I talk to a lot of people. I talk to the end user. I talk to you guys, face to face, and the thing that I always ask people is what you currently use, and if you use something, what do you like about it? What don't you like about it? And the overwhelming response that I get ends up being that what they currently use makes their skin feel really greasy. And I felt like, and even still, even introducing these carrier oils, I feel like when I use that oil and I put it in my beard, if I wash my hands, if I wipe my hands off with like the towel I showered with, they come out they come out really soft, and there's no like greasiness to it. I don't have that sort of greasy feel, like like if you run your hands under water after you've been like cooking with like olive oil or something, and it just like beads up on your hands.
Yeah.
This doesn't, I mean, I don't have that type of effect with it. It feels very natural. And so uh kind of going back to part of my original thought for doing this, is having something that was more of an all natural type product, something that I felt comfortable with, using myself, knowing everything that went in it, being able to explain the benefits of it, and giving somebody the comfort level to know that what they're using, you know, isn't going to irritate their skin, isn't going to break them out. Now, everybody reacts differently to those things, and people know what they can and can't use. I actually had a guy last weekend who I was talking to, and he asked me if there was MTC or MCT oil in my beard stuff, and I was like, I don't know, I've never heard of it.
I haven't heard of
And
that
so
either.
yeah, he's like, I got something from another company, and it had some type of oil in it, and when I used it, it made my it smelled rancid, like it spoiled. So I was like, wow, that's really, I've never heard that. And so me, the type that I am, I immediately, pulled my phone out and started Googling it. And sure enough, it's actually a derivative of coconut oil. There's a way that coconut oil, they extract out another type of oil that's it's actually used in like dietary cooking. um, but apparently, it's a type of carrier oil as well.
Wow.
Just like coconut oil is type of
There's all
carrier oil.
kinds of stuff. The longer I stay in this,
Hmm.
it's almost like a game for sometimes. It's like how many different carrier oils can you actually put in a blend
Right.
for beard oil? It's crazy stuff.
Yeah. And to me, less is more. I think when you start to you know, oversaturate something, it ends up losing its value. And so having a good carrier oil blend. And again, thank you for the suggestions for that, because again, I think I got off track on what I was saying, but in the development of what I do, having that feedback and being able to get additional input, from people like you, who I value as somebody in my circle, was a good call.
Well, I appreciate that, and not all owners, as I told you, are always as receptive to
Yeah,
not criticism, but feedback. And uh, my main job is to help folks. I want to help my viewers. I want to help the
yeah,
owners. That's just kind of who I am and why I'm here. So,
absolutely.
guys, let me know in the comments if you're ready for a giveaway. We may see if we can do a giveaway here in just a second. So you saw the new scent profile. We'll talk about that new scent coming up in just a minute. But let's see what I want to do next. I wanted to talk about I don't know if I got the prices on here or not. I might have forgotten to put the prices up. I'll tell you what, let's look at the website real quick just to show everybody what the different uh, products that you sell are, right? So you've got oil and then you've got balms currently. And I will tell you guys, the balm is a low hold balm. It's almost like a butter for me, if you like the thicker kind of butters. So it does have shea butter, cocoa butter, and then your carrier oils and just a little bit of beeswax, but it can't be too much, Ron.
It's not a large amount of beeswax, because I didn't want to have a very like sticky feeling to it. So when you use it, it does give some hold and some shape. Um, but there's not a lot of beeswax in it. Um, for me, I ran across some products that I used in, what I'll call my research and development time of putting this together. Uh, some of them didn't feel very, they felt very pasty. When I use mine, and when I've the feedback that I've got from people when they use theirs is that it melts, very easily in their hand. It's very easy to put on, very easy to go in the beard. um, and it has very good conditioning, sort of properties to it.
And I agree with that. So it does give you hold, but it's also really high on the conditioning. And if you guys out there have tried enough balms, you know the difference. Like some are just kind of for hold, and it never really makes your beard feel soft, but this balm does. And I
Yep.
actually put some on right before we did the stream here. So
Nice.
and I did find my prices here. So your prices are $18 for an oil, $22 for a 2 ounce balm, and then you can get a combo for 36. And then you've got an awesome wash, which we'll talk about in a little bit, 8 ounce
Yep.
wash, which is $18. And I did see a question here, and guys, we'll get that giveaway here in just a second. So get your device ready so you can type in your number. So Animal Tracks was talking about your artwork that you had done, and like I said, you're one of the few companies that start out of the gate to have the branding and all that stuff down. So do you do the art in house, or do you have a artist that you use?
I have an artist that I use. He's done some digital art for me in the past. Somebody that I met through social media. Um, does phenomenal work, and I can sort of uh, talk with him and come up with, sort of give him my vision for uh what I want to see, from a branding perspective, or from a character perspective. And he puts together some really good sketches for me, and then we tweak along the way. So it's a pretty collaborative type effort. um but yeah, he does a fantastic job. And then I do excuse me, all the label creation and printing here in house.
That's awesome. It's great to. I just
I'm
love the
not an artist.
originality, right? Because you're doing your own thing with these, and it's always good to see. And I know it's hard for business owners to try to be original and come up with something, but the stuff you have already looks great.
Yep, appreciate that.
Oh yeah, Animal said that having that in an apparel line would be nice as well. I don't know if you could get that on a T-shirt if you've even tried it or thought about it.
I've looked into it, and I haven't really found the and again, I'm not an artist. I can put something together in my head, and I have an idea for how I want it to look. But then when I try to take it from here into a physical format, uh, you know, I have troubles with it because it doesn't come out exactly how I envision it. So I'm still looking around for uh, for somebody to sort of take that and be able to to come up with something. I've thought about doing some hats, thought about doing some t-shirts.
Yeah, man, I would think a
uh
black T-shirt with this logo on it would just be so cool.
yeah.
So cool. All right, guys, we are going to do a giveaway. And what did you say we were giving away? Oil bombs.
uh we're here talking about El Profesor. Scent release day today, so we're gonna give away we'll give away an oil and a balm. Yeah.
All right, so oil bomb. And we're going to do a random number generator. So get your favorite number ready. And the way we do it here, because sometimes people get prioritized where it's like multiple people have the same number. So the way I do it a little bit different on my channel. By the way, do make sure you're subscribed because I got subscriber only chat on. So make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can get in on this. If more than one person gets the right number, we're going with the second person. So if two people guess the right number, we're going to go with the second person on my screen to get it. I like being just a little bit different, I think, because all the giveaways I used to enter, I would always get beat out by somebody else and get the second number. But if it's a strategy, right? So if you're the only person to get the number, you win. But if two people get it, the second person. If three people get it, it's still the second person. So it makes it interesting. I'm seeing how people have strategies. Like, should you wait or should you go ahead and do the number? Anyway, guys,
Yeah.
we're going 1 through 12. So go ahead and type your number in when you're ready. And we'll see if anybody gets it, 1 through 12. And good luck to you. Yeah, E, I've been traumatized by all of those times I've come in second. I don't know. It's just something that kind of came up one day and I started doing it and thought it was pretty cool.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Do you see them
Got a
pop up?
couple got a couple duplicates, yeah.
Oh, man. Some people would think their lucky number might be 7. I see it about 12 times on the screen. We'll wait a
Oh, there's
little
another
bit
one.
longer, see if anybody else wants to jump in. Oh, good to see some folks in there. Ross, good to see you. Michael, good to see you. Saw Billy Ray. Ryan's in here. OG Fitzroy's in here. Good to see you. And we'll wait 10 more seconds. I'll throw some dots in there so we can do a little separation on that. All right. So the votes are in, and the correct number was 4. And if I'm looking at it correctly, there was only one person with 4, and they came in at the very end.
Very
Mr.
end of it, yeah.
Matt Slowinski.
Congrats, Matt.
Do you know Matt?
I do not.
All right, Matt. Matt, are you on Instagram? Can you send a message to Los Muertos Beard Company on Instagram? If not, we can give you the contact information here or the email address. We'll make it work.
Yep, absolutely.
Make sure you are following Los Muertos on Instagram. I like seeing some of the shows you go to. That looks interesting. I know there's like companies that like do mostly online, and then there's some that do mostly like set up at shows, and then a lot do the kind of diversify, and they'll have like retail stores that they'll do work for. It sounds like
Mhm.
you've been doing mostly shows up till relatively recently.
Yeah, I that's what I started with. My site opened, again on November 1st of 2020. And I started thinking about what would be, the best way to start to build the brand. And so just trying to put it out in front of as many people as possible, um, is what my approach was. And so, down here in South Texas, unfortunately it's pretty warm during the summers. And so it's difficult to get out and do shows, at that time. But I've got one coming up this weekend in Austin. I'll actually be going to my first out of town show. And then the weekend after that, there's a 2-day event here in the North Houston area that I'll be doing. But yeah, the shows, like I said, the shows are a lot of fun. Uh, Everybody who ends up smelling, the products, absolutely love them. Uh, just really very complimentary of the branding. Everybody comes up, they say it's so eye catching, and the branding is amazing, and the artwork is great, and the colors and all that. And again, it sort of kind of goes back to my whole idea for this is that I didn't want to put something out there that looked like everybody else's. So, uh, I try to come up with, when you walk into my booth or my tent, whatever you want to call it, I want it to be very, very eye catching, a very, unique experience. It's not white tablecloth. It's not, uh, you know, it's a lot of color to it. I've got the banner in the back that, has, a lot of my characters in it. And, I've got the logo, um, a lot of bold colors. And so, that draws people, it draws people um, to the setup. And so they like it.
That's great. Guys, that was not the only giveaway. We've got more giveaways, plural. So make sure to
Giveaways,
stay
plural.
tuned.
Yeah,
Yeah. If you
absolutely.
haven't shared it on Instagram, if you wouldn't mind doing that, checking out a new company and new owner here to talk to, Mr. Ron. We appreciate that. And Fitz wants to know when you're going to be in Houston.
When in Houston, I'm actually going to be in Houston proper. I don't have anything scheduled at this point. Um, like I said, this weekend I'll be in Austin, but then next weekend, I think it's the 14th and the 15th of May. I will be in Old Town Spring. Yep, 14th and 15th. Old Town Spring. There's a park out there called Pavilion Park, and they're doing a 2-day vendor event that's called Big Top. There's a big circus tent that's like put up out there. Um, it's a it's a event organizer I've done a event with in the past, and they have if I'm estimating low, I'm going to say probably 8,000 people come through there.
Awesome.
It's probably 10 to 12,000.
That
A lot of
that's
people.
that's busy. I don't know if I could handle that many people.
It's
I
fun
don't
though.
like people that much.
Yeah, I'm the same. But as I start talking about beard care and people, start getting interested in the products, and it's a different game at that point.
Yeah. Well, you got that good looking beard to attract them in too.
Yeah.
So that's cool. So Matt said he's super excited to try out the new scent. So I tell you what, let's do. Let's talk about that scent. I do want to make sure I talk about the wash tonight too, guys. So if you are placing an order, make sure you can use the code Banjo15, say 15%, and there is free shipping when you hit the $50 mark. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes.
Uh,
There's free shipping for orders over $50.
So if you want to stock up and try this, because you got a lot of scents to choose from, and I would also say make sure you try the beard wash if you like the natural beard washes, not the ones that feel like the store bought stuff for your head hair, because you make this completely in house yourself. We got jojoba vitamin E, organic coconut, organic olive oil, organic hemp oil, your essential oil blend, purified water, and xanthan gum, and that's
Yep.
it.
So it's a Castile soap, which
Yeah,
is a very uh, natural, lot more gentle cleansing than
one of my
body
favorite
wash or
beard
shampoo.
washes. One of my favorite beard washes is the Castile soap.
Yeah.
For sure. So I
Um,
wanted to give a shout out for that because, sometimes people the companies, they, you got to be careful when you start having water based products, shower
mhm,
products to get,
mhm.
and I don't even suggest it anymore. Like, oh, this company really needs to add in a wash. And once I understood what went into making water based products in your house with the, needing the, preservatives and that kind of stuff is like I quit recommending that. So some companies, they don't have a wash at all, or they just buy kind of a pre-mix thing and they add their scent to it, which all of that is fine. But I just wanted to tell you guys that I really do enjoy this wash, and I like really gentle washes. So that would be worth a try if you want to try a new wash, and that is
Yep.
only $18 for a big 8 ounces.
Yeah. And Animal Tracks ask a good question. Daily wash, no to little stripping.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah.
My bill feels conditioned when it comes out, not like a shower conditioner, but more like a oil kind of conditioner,
Yep.
like a hot oil treatment is, I think is what I said in my video. Kind of feels
Hmm.
like that. I always had good beard days when I wore this.
I'm
It's
glad to hear
probably,
that.
but I do a lot of things to my beard, but I just
Right. Right.
remember in particular it coming out and it kind of already feeling
Hmm.
not heavy, but it's how your beard feels when it's got some oil in it and some conditioning to it.
Yep.
Definitely a daily wash. All right,
Yeah.
let's talk
The
about the scents. So we've
Mhm,
got to talk about the El Profesor since we are releasing that. We better go ahead and talk about it. And the scent profile on that, it says cashmere and cedarwood on the
mhm.
bottle. But I did a little bit of digging on some of the stuff you sent me, and what is cashmere? Like, what is that? So you has had on your, I think maybe the stuff you emailed to me, maybe it's on the website now, but you had like vanilla, sugar, rose, jasmine, orchid. I guess all that
Yep,
makes up the cashmere, and then you have the cedar. Is that
yep.
right? And I'll tell you guys what I get from it in a minute.
So the cashmere part of it, to me is is sort of that warmth. This is a warm and spicy beard oil. It definitely, it hits your nose, um, in a strong way. Not to
It,
say that it's overpowering, but it's one of those ones that, as you're wearing it through the day, and I've used this beard oil for probably the last month, and I can tell you that after 8 hours being out, outside, I'll you know smell my beard and I still get that sort of that warmth to it. It's a very deep scent. um it's and spicy, not in like a heat type of way, but spicy in a just sort of the way that it hits your smell center.
Yeah,
um
and I would agree with that. And to me, this is the strongest one that you've sent me as far as it going on forever. It's not super strong out of the bottle, but it just stays
yeah,
and it changes a little bit. It's
yeah.
not my favorite out of all of them, just to be honest, because that's how I am. They can't all be your favorite. But I do get that. It's almost if you like that, tobacco vanilla kind of stuff. And I know there's no tobacco in it, but you kind of
Mhm.
get like a Cuban cigar because it's got a little bit of that peppery kind of spicy stuff to it with the
Yep.
vanilla and the sugar. I get just
Mhm.
if you like those kind of scents, those dark scents, I think you would like this. And
Yeah,
then
it's a
it smooths out, but yet it's still as Ron says, it's got that warmth to it. So if you like those kind of bold, it's kind of a bold scent. So if
mhm.
you just like nice, light, kind of fruity stuff, that's not what this is.
Yeah. It's very earthy. It's very, it's a rich earthy scent. Um that it just stays with you. And sort of, kind of to the what we had talked about earlier, with the cologne scents. Those cologne scents are a little bit on the lighter side. They're more citrusy, they're more airy type scents. um I wanted to come up with something that was uniquely different. And so through sort of the research and things that I do, um I actually went to a candle making event and started kind of looking at the way that they make candles. And so looking at some of the different options that they had, cedar was one that really stuck out to me. And so when I left that, I knew that I wanted to come up with something beard related, that was sort of had that punch to it, had a good cedary type smell to it, but then had something else that rounded it out, because I just didn't want to have the you know cedar is sort of woodsy, and woodsy is, I've got a woodsy scent, and I feel like the woodsy scent that I have, I feel like is a lot different than uh the other offerings that are out there. But I wanted this one to sort of have some more depth to it. uh so sort of combining those other elements to it is how I ended up at what I have.
Yeah, and he asked what the scent duration is on the El Professor. It's all day. I
Yeah,
get you
it's
can get, and like I said, it changes a little bit, but you can still get it like all day
yep,
into the night. Uh,
yep, it's 8 hour
I
plus.
can. The other
Yep.
ones are maybe like around the 6 hour kind of scent profile for the
Yeah.
ones that I have.
Hmm.
And like I said,
Yeah,
I've got
the
four other ones:
you have El Director, El Caballero, which other, El Musico,
El Musico
and
and
El
El
Barbero.
Barbaro.
Yeah, yep, yeah. Those are good 6 hour. I think probably El Barbero is probably a little bit longer, but you know, it's a I feel like El Professor was a pretty big change, in what, the other ones that I have. And again, I have 16 of them. So,
Yeah.
I do have
So, and we'll
some
talk
pretty
about some
long
of the other ones.
lasting
So,
scent.
lots of stuff to choose from, guys. Lots of
Yeah.
stuff to choose from. So, your El Barbaro obviously is your barbershop, and
Hmm.
that is the one that's kind of the little bit on the sweeter side, a little bit of the powdery vibe to it.
Yep.
So, traditional barbershop that you guys have probably smelled quite a bit. These other ones are really good. All towards the cologne side on the three that I have. Now, the one I've used the most because you have it in the beard wash too. Do you have all the scents in the beard wash?
I don't have all the scents in the
Okay,
beard wash.
I couldn't
There's
remember.
seven of the scents come in a beard wash.
Okay,
You know, I've considered other ones, but there's some of them that I look at and it's like, I don't know if I could do like a sweet tobacco, amber, and cherry beard wash. I don't know how that would work, or like a leathery
that
beard
sounds
wash. I don't
great
know
to
how that
me.
would work.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll make one special for you for
Oh, there you
Christmas.
go. So the El Caballero, I really like. That's a very safe kind of cologne kind of scent. I think that's what you were saying with some of these other ones. I would use the word kind of safe, right? I think most gentlemen would like the El Caballero, El Musico, El Director. They're kind of on the cologne side and not way overpowering or way out of the box, right?
Yep. Yeah. Their El Caballero is by far my most popular one.
I can see
Um,
why.
Everybody who smells it, they're like, "Oh yeah, that's the one I
That's
want.
the one. It's got
That's the
kind of
one."
the old kind of 80s kind of cologne vibe. It's got a little bit of that little bit of that bite to it, and but then it's still smooth and nice, and
Yep.
just yeah, like I said, you wear it to church on a Sunday morning or something like that.
Yep.
A good
Um,
office cologne, if you will.
it's definitely a good one. Yep. Um, that's definitely our most popular one. Everybody who smells that one, like, their their eyes just light up right there. Um, I have a lot of women shopping for boyfriends and husbands and things like that. They smell it and they're like, "Oh yeah, I want my man to smell like that."
Animal Track says he likes strong scent, so El Professor's right up his alley, I think.
Awesome.
So El Musico has got a little bit more. It's still the gentlemanly scent, but a little more on the citrus side. Is that right on El Musico?
Yep. Yep.
Is it
It's a
grapefruit? It's
little
kind of
more
like
of
a
the
grapefruit or something.
yeah. It's grapefruit, some lemon in there.
Yeah,
Um,
just a touch
it's
of
got a
lemon.
kind of little bit of a more zesty kind of smell to it. Um, Sweet, a little bit, probably a little bit sweeter than El Caballero, um, but it sort of radiates that citrusy kind of smell. So part of what I wanted, because for me, I'm very particular about the things that I wear, and so here in the South, it's difficult to wear a real heavy scent during the dead of the summer. And so having something lighter, El Musico, to me, what that invoked was, I used to be a salsa musician. So, way, way, way back in my day, I was a professional musician. And so, being out on the bandstand at 2 o'clock in the morning, music's cranking, people are dancing and stuff like that. You know, that sort of scent, I wanted to have that sort of, you know, real clean, cool, type scent, like the salsa dancers dancing and stuff like that, have that sort of nice lighter scent to it.
Cool. And I've
Something that
got one
wasn't
more here. I
overly
know there's
heavy.
a lot more scents we'll look at after we do a giveaway. So let's go ahead and talk about
Yeah.
El Director first, and then we'll do the giveaway. So El Director is kind of like the one we just talked about, but then it's got a little bit more depth to it with the cedar in it, maybe, or
Mhm.
some kind of woods in it. Something else is in there on the
Yeah.
bottom end.
You want to, you said you wanted to go ahead and do the,
I wanted to talk about this one first, and then we'll do it. We'll do
okay.
the giveaway. Then we'll go to the website and look at the other scents and see what questions people have.
Yeah.
Well,
So, El Director, does have, it's more of a sandalwood type scent. And I know sandalwood's really popular. In sort of talking to people, one of the questions I always ask is like, what type of scents do you like? Uh, it seems like sandalwood is the one that most people sort of go to. so I wanted to have, a sandalwood type scent that I could say, yeah, this is a sandalwood type scent. And Brian's showing you his hand,
Well,
the
they asked for how
viscosity.
thick it is. They're
Yeah,
talking about thick or thin. So I would say it's on the thicker side of medium. Like it's just towards thick. It's towards the thicker side.
yeah. And I don't know, which is that one that you just used, the director, or was that
Yes,
the professor? Yeah. So keep in mind the director was minus the argon,
and the
meadow
metal foam.
foam, and so those oils I think have thickened it up even more. So I don't know if you want to compare the two,
I don't
because you
think I
do have
want to
the.
get El Professor on my hands before I go to
Oh,
bed.
okay. Be
That
smelling
stuff's
that all day.
strong.
Yeah. So El Director, has some grapefruit, has some spice to it, but does sit on more of like a sandalwood type base. So it is like Russ said, it does
Yeah.
mix well with light and dark scents. This
Bit,
one is probably a lighter scent. There's some floral tones in it that sort of round it out. Uh, but when I came up with that, it was like, that scent just had that sort of, you know, just had that feel to it. And it sort of felt like, Hollywood movie
yeah.
was sort of my, the way it hit me.
And those three are the favorite that I've tried out of the five. So El Caballero, El Director, El Musico. If you are placing an order, like I said, they're kind of gentlemanly towards the cologne side, but just different. There's enough difference in there. You know, guys, I've smelled
Yep.
probably close to 1,000 beard oils at this point. So they're not overcomplicated, but like I said, they're unique to me, and I really enjoy them. They're not offensive. I think it would, I think just about everybody would like those three in particular. And then obviously, if you like a good barber shop, there's El Barbaro. And then the brand new one, if you like a little bit more punchy, a little bit darker, you can try the El Profesor. And you have a chance to win something. What are we giving away?
Yeah.
Hey, Tommy.
We'll give away I don't know, let's do a Caballero beard and oil and balm.
All right, cool. So that's a really nice one, El Caballero. Caballero. Sorry if I don't pronounce these things the correct way. I do the best I can. So I see 20 people in here. So once again, if you're new to my channel, know that I go with the second person. If multiple people guess the right number, we always go with the second person, no matter how many people guess it. Two, three, four, five of them. But I tell you what, let's go 20 through 30. 20 through 30, and you can go whenever you're ready. 20 through 30. Don't forget, guys, when you order, you can use the code BANJO15. If you hit $50, you get free shipping, 15% off with the BANJO15. And there was an update to the carrier oils from my video. If you watched my video on this, we now have jojoba, coconut, vitamin E, and then added in meadow foam and argan. And you're guessing the number 20 through 30. And we'll go 10 more seconds here. Everybody get a chance, just in case your internet's slow. Do make sure you've hit the live button. Sometimes YouTube will kind of glitch there when you're watching the live stream. It'll like pause it for 15 seconds. At least it does on me. And I have to go, well, why isn't this thing live? I'm behind 15 seconds. Yeah, everybody loves that meadow foam. As soon as you said meadow foam, everybody started perking up. So that's a cool thing. I think it just instantly makes every blend just great when you put meadow. No, I'm just kidding,
Yeah.
but it does
It's
seem to
it's
work well. For me, it's almost like a fractionated coconut in that for me, it makes my beard feel really, really soft and usually
mhm,
wears really light in my beard. But then you've got the darker things to go with it too, the thicker ones with the argan. So it's a good blend.
yep, it
And
is.
Ellie says she loved the argan. So there you go. Everybody kind of wins on this. So let's see here.
Absolutely.
We'll see what we got. So let me put some dots in just to cut this thing off. And hopefully everybody has their number in. And our number is 22. I know I saw at least 22. Let's see how many 22s we had. I see Russ Young had 22. And then Philip A had 22 afterwards. Remember, we're going with the second person. Sorry, everybody can't win, but there's going to be a chance to get another win here in just a little bit. All right, so Philip A won with the 22. Philip A. So everybody say congrats to Philip. And Philip, let me know if you are on Instagram. And if so, you can just reach out to Los Muertos Beard Company, and Ron will hook you up. And
I'm taking notes on my phone so I know who to
yeah,
ship
that's
what to
good.
tomorrow.
That's good. If not, you have to go back and watch the whole live stream again and get me more watch time. See,
Yeah.
so everybody's giving you the congratulations, Philip. Once again, let me know, Philip, if you're on Instagram. And I tell you what, let's do. Let's take a look at the rest of your scents. What's the best page to look at that?
You probably look at. Well, let's see.
Just
Yeah, beard oils. I mean, everything that's available in an oil is available in a balm.
gotcha. So, and we've talked about El Professor. I'll just let you just go through them real quick here. So, El Mecanico, what is that one?
Yeah, so El Mecanico, that is my second newest, and that's a birch and black pepper. Again, that's spicier blend. But has a real nice, a little bit lighter sort of profile compared to El Professor. It's a masculine scent. Everybody who smelled it has really liked it. They've you know I've actually sold out of my first run of that one. Um, but it's a good one.
El
Let's see, we've got
Pistolero?
El Pistolero. So this used to be the fan favorite for a while. This one is similar to El Caballero, but it's a little bit muskier. Um, Kind of one of those things again, depending on what you like. Maybe you like a little bit of a darker, kind of heavier scent compared to El Caballero. El Pistolero would be a little
Oh,
bit
that
on the
sounds
heavier
that sounds
side.
nice too.
It's got a yeah, it's another one of those that's sandalwood. It's got some floral, some lavenders to it. It's got a real nice, a real nice smell to it.
And for the coffee lovers, I'm guessing El Barista is coffee.
El Barista's coffee, and so when I do these display shows, and I have everything out for people to look at. I sort of watch, and I watch everybody's scent, reactions to the scents, and when they get to El Barista, I always caution them and say, okay, do you like the scent of coffee? And if they say, yeah, I love it, I'll say, okay, go ahead and smell that one. That El Barista is probably the it's one of, if not the strongest scent that I have, because it is very much a coffee scented beard oil. It's got some vanillas, it's got some sugars in it, but it's a very much a coffee. It's like if you just poured a cup of coffee on your face. That's how it smells. Some
All
people like
right.
it, some people don't like it. If you like the scent of coffee, it's definitely a good coffee scent. Uh, if you don't like coffee, that's not going to be the scent for you.
Let us know in the comments who likes strong coffee scents.
Yeah.
All right. How about El Padrino?
El Padrino. This is the second oil that I ever came up with. Sweet tobacco, amber, and cherry is what the blend is.
Ooh, that sounds
Um,
so good.
yeah, it smells like the inside of a cigar box, and honestly, that's what I wanted to. That's sort of the feel that I wanted to go for. Sort of that real earthy scent, but it had sort of a cleanliness to it. Um, and it's a really really good set. It came out really well. I'm really happy with that. That was
Yeah,
the
and I'm
second one I ever.
I'm like E, no food or drink scents for me. Now I like some I really like, but I know
Mhm.
he really just likes no food or drink. He just wants all like kind of cologne type of scents. That's what he likes. And
Yeah.
Tommy said he didn't like coffee either. Yeah, I love drinking coffee. I love smelling coffee. You know, brewing. I just don't want it on
Hmm.
my face because I can't seem to get rid of it. It's kind of like leather. I like smelling leather, but I don't want leather on my face most of the time. I've learned to
Yep.
never say never after smelling this.
Hmm.
Like I said, close to 1,000 beard oils. over the past 4 years and working with tons of companies. The good thing about me, doing reviews and stuff is companies just send me whatever. I don't usually request what they send me. They just send me whatever they want. Just like you, I didn't ask what to send me. So
Mhm.
sometimes they'll send me stuff that I never would have guessed that I would have liked, and I love it. And sometimes they send one that I thought I would have liked, and I didn't. So
Mhm.
there's always surprises. Andrew, I didn't know you were listening. I said something about leather, didn't I? He's a fan of the leather. All right, so you've already talked earlier about the first one there, the ice
Palatero.
cream, which yeah,
Mhm.
El Palatero, which is the kind of orange creamsicle. And
Yep.
how about El Vaquero? Oops.
So El Vaquero,
Uh,
that's my leather scented beard oil offering. Um, it's got a very it's a different twist to leather. It's one of those ones that it's got a very clean sort of leather smell to it. Um, El Vaquero being the cowboy, that's sort of the feeling that I wanted to invoke with it. Sort of that rugged leathery smell, but it has, there's some florals to it. Uh, there's some sweetness to it that sort of rounds out the harsh leathery smell to it. So it's a little bit different than what, a normal leather type smell would be.
well, Andrew likes all leather, so Andrew, this is the one that you need, El Vaquero, Vaquero,
El
however how you
Vaquero,
say
yep.
that. We got three more here, guys, and then we'll be starting to wrap it up. So just be seeing if you have any questions for us. I know Ron would be glad to answer that, and we'll do one more giveaway as well. How about
Yeah, absolutely.
Elemonte?
So Elemonte is my this is probably my lighter of the cologne scents. A little bit of a powdery type scent, more on the florally side. So it's going to be less, you know, probably less pungent than like the El Caballero or the El Pistolero. This one is sort of at the bottom end of my, what I would consider a cologne type scent. Uh, you know, Powdery, florally works really well. For guys who want a scent that isn't super strong, Elamante is the lover, and so that one is, that one would be the one that I would recommend to people. People who smell that one, really like it. I would say that's one of my probably top five that I sell when I do market events. So it's a good one. Like I said, a little bit on the lighter side of like a cologne type line.
And obviously, we've got the Woodsman here.
The Woodsman, yep, that one is going to be a very earthy, uh, you know, very r- rugged, type scent. It's one that um, it's very fresh. It's not like a Christmas tree type woods. It's a wood blend, but it does have a very, fresh and woodsy type smell to it.
Awesome. And last one, El Camarero.
A Camarero is the bartender, and so this is my spiced Kentucky bourbon beard oil. This one, this one's gone is actually gone through. This is its second iteration. The first one that I did, I wasn't entirely happy with, um, but the new blend that I've put together from a scent profile, I really like it. It does have some sandalwood in it, spiced Kentucky bourbon. There's some vanillas, so there's some sweetness to it. It's not like somebody threw a drink in your face. It's more, it's probably a little bit more richer than, just like smelling straight Kentucky bourbon. Um, but it's got a really nice, sort of freshness to it. And I think it's, the sandalwood base does a lot for it.
Awesome. Guys, I don't know if you've been as impressed as I have been with what Ron's doing over there. Love the themes. I love the scents. I love the blend. Feels good to me and my beard. I can't wait for you guys to try this some more. Hopefully, you've been impressed. Let me know which scents out of those you had lots to choose from. Name a couple of them that were jumping out at you. You're like, "Ooh, I want to try this." If you've placed an order, let me know what you've ordered. I'm interested to hear that. And we've got one more giveaway that we're going to do in just a minute. So let me put the prices back up here.
But can't go wrong with the bourbon scent, like Animal Track said.
Yeah, and I like a good bourbon scent as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, and James says he's impressed. Yeah, so you're
appreciate that.
doing great stuff there. I can't wait for it to get out a little bit more. Uh, get some more guys to try this stuff.
Absolutely.
He likes that El Professor. Matt says nice work. So we've got 18, nope, 22 people. It just jumped up. We got 22 people watching, guys. We got to do one more giveaway. And what's on your mind to give away here, Ron?
You know, I'll let it be dealer's choice.
All
I'll
right,
let it whoever wins it. They can pick an oil and a balm off of our lineup, and
cool. So
I
there
will
you
send
go.
it to them.
Oil and balm of your choice, guys. So now that we've been through all the scents, you kind of get in your brain what you think you might want. You get a chance. So carriers are fantastic. Yeah, we've beefed those up a little bit, Russ. So hopefully you're getting good feedback. Have you gotten good feedback, Ron, from other folks that have tried the new blend?
Yeah, yeah. People really like it. I've got a
Yeah.
decent amount of people who come through, and are repeat customers. Uh, and talking to them about what's changed. Um, and talking about the additional carrier oils in it. Um, I've gotten some responses back after their first time using it. Said, yeah, this is even better than it was before.
Awesome. So, guys, get your
Yep.
devices ready. I'm going to ask Ron one more question. We're going to do this giveaway, and then we're going to call it an evening here. Anything coming up in the future that you want to let out of the bag or anything like that? I know you've talked about some of the shows and stuff that you'll be set up at locally. Do you have anything else in the works that you can share, like any scents or? You've got plenty of scents. So,
Um,
I mean, you
got
seem to have
plenty of
that nailed
sense. Yeah,
down. In fact,
plenty of
he's
sense.
you get to a certain point, you have to like retire them.
You know, um, because I'm coming up to sort of the point in the year when outdoor shows are going to be uh, less likely for me to do, because I mean, honestly, I take the stuff out there, and in the beginning, before I was very smart about the whole beard oil and beard product thing. um you know I went out to a show last June, and my stuff was melting.
Hmm.
So I started to have to put it in ice, and carry an ice chest with me so I could move all, keep that stuff cool while I was doing these shows. um so in any rate, this is coming up to sort of the end of the season when I'm going to sort of call off doing shows outside. If I find some inside shows, I'll definitely take a look at them. But so all that being said, I have started. I've already put together all of my products, and I'm going to start looking at developing a whipped beard butter.
Woohoo! Two thumbs up
Yeah,
for the butter coming.
yeah.
Except you
But
can't.
gonna start doing
That's a pain to ship too. Much less set up at a show.
Yeah, yeah, I've heard. So I'm gonna have to try to figure out, what the best way to do that would be. But
Yeah.
gonna start
Well,
looking at
you
doing
know, you
some
got a
whipped
guinea
butter.
pig here if you ever need to ship anything and see how it holds up and all that
Oh
kind of
yeah,
stuff.
there you go. Absolutely.
I love a good whipped butter because it wears so light. I don't like wearing them at night. Yeah, Ryan's
Yeah,
excited for that. So cool.
yeah, absolutely.
All right, guys, let's get your devices ready. And we've got 24 people. So let's go 1 through 12 again. And remember, if multiple people get the right number, we are going with the second person on the list just because I like being a contrarian. 1 through 12. Best of luck to you. And this is for an oil and balm of dealer's choice. Uh, and yeah, we love all these logos. Hey, Disney, good to see you. Yeah, so all of this artwork and branding is just on point. Very impressed with the whole thing, Ron. That's one of the reasons I reached out to you in the first place, but also all the feedback and becoming an affiliate because I just don't do that without a good reason to. So I really do believe in what you got going over there. I want to try to help
Awesome.
spread that around as much as I can and get the word out.
Yeah, appreciate that.
They're worthy products to try. So hopefully
So
we've
Nicholas
put.
asked a question there with
Yeah,
the
where's it at?
woodsy scent. Is it cedar or pine? Combination, Nicholas. Probably a little more on the cedary side, but there is a pretty decent blend between the two.
Yeah, pine's always tricky. I said for a long time I didn't even like the woodsy scent because 4 or 5 years ago all you could get it would smell like pine saw. like cleaner
Right.
for your bathroom. And
Yep.
now
Yep.
there's some really good complex scents that have
Mhm.
the woodsy stuff in it that I love now. And then even pine, like if it's used correctly, I really enjoy it. So,
Yep.
all right, Christian, good to see you in here. So we're guessing 1 through 12, and I'm going to put some dots in the chat here in about 10 seconds, and we'll see if anybody won an oil bomb of dealer's choice. Make sure you guys check out the Los Muertos. You can check out their website, check out the artwork, check them out on Instagram, see where they're going to be setting up, and what you may get a little hint into some of the mixtures. We may get pictures of that whipped butter soon. You never know.
Absolutely.
So let me put the 3 dots here, and we'll see if anybody won. So the correct number was 6. Correct number was 6. And let's see if we see any 6s. I think I saw at least one. Hey, Dagan, good to see you in here. I see a bunch of 9s. There's a 6, so there is one
There's a
6.
6.
Garrett had a 6. Now let's see if there's anybody else with a 6 before my dots. And nope, you were the winner, Garrett Bailey.
Congrats, Garrett.
Yeah, and Dagan asked, no butters? Not currently, but they're working on a whipped butter. I don't know what the status of that might be. I think that's still in the works. But
In development.
the in development, there we go. So the balms are really nice. It's kind of low to medium hold, but a lot of conditioning. So if you're using the butter for the conditioning, I really enjoyed this balm. I put it on just before the stream started when I did some heat on. Used a heated brush and put some of that in, and it worked excellent. My beard feels super soft. So, so congrats. And who won? I forgot who won.
Garrett.
Did you get it down?
Garrett Bailey. Yep.
Garrett Bailey, are you on Instagram? Yeah, so he's on Instagram. He said he would contact you. Awesome, guys.
Okay.
Let me know if you have any final questions. And hopefully, if you've got one of those running lists of like companies to try you haven't tried yet, hopefully now Los Muertos is on it. And by going through all the stuff tonight and hearing all the scents and hearing Ron's take on things, maybe can move to the top of the list. If you have any questions,
Um,
please let me know, or Ron.
so Philip, I don't know if he's still in here, but I need to get his contact info for shipping because he won that second giveaway.
I never heard back from him, did we? Which Philip was it? Philip A?
Philip A. Hmm.
Oh, yeah, he's in here. Philip A, did you
Okay.
win early, or are you on IG? You need to reach out to Ron there on Los Muertos on Instagram, or we can give you the email address. Is there a contact thing through the
There's a okay,
website?
yeah, he
He's
just
on
said he's here
Instagram, so
on
he's
his
good.
Instagram.
He'll reach out to you. So just check your messages. If they weren't already, following you, then it may come up as you have to go to your request for messages. It's always weird. Sometimes I lose people message me and I don't see it for a day or two because it goes to the weird spot that I can't find.
Yeah. No, I got Matt's.
All right, cool.
Haven't seen Philip's yet.
All right. Philip said
Yeah,
he's
so
here.
Philip,
He's going
so
to
hit
reach
us
out.
up.
So yeah, great to see you guys. Thank you all for coming. And Animal Tracks ask, are conditioners coming to go with the wash at any time?
That's something that I've thought about. Um, haven't fully committed to it yet, and I'll be honest with you. As Brian mentioned earlier, the way that the wash leaves your beard after you use it, I don't know if there's need for a separate conditioner. I
I don't
honestly
use,
don't. I
I
feel like it would
rarely use
be.
conditioner anyway. And I definitely don't think you need an extra shower conditioner. At least my beard doesn't. Everybody's beard's different. I guess your routines are different, but
Yeah.
that's kind of one where if there's a demand for it and you can do it. But I know that you mixed it, you it's a cast style soap, but also this is kind of made in house. And with
Mhm.
conditioners, you got even more non-natural ingredients usually in conditioner.
Yeah.
So I know that may go
Yeah.
away from kind of what you're wanting to do there.
Yeah.
Somebody asked another good question. Nicholas
Mhm.
asked, do you try any other beer companies' products, and maybe some of the things that you like that you've tried that you want care to mention?
I tried a lot of different ones when I first started, and sort of doing some of the development that I went through in coming up with with these, different oils and scents and things like that. Um, I think the one that probably I was most impressed with would have been Fable. I don't know. Fable Beard Company is
Yeah.
probably one that's pretty well known. Um, there was some that I tried that I really just hated. And I'm not the kind to smear campaign people. I don't want to say negative things about
And that's fine. I think we
people
all understand that.
specifically. Yeah, but there were some that I just really didn't like. And sort of the motivation behind doing this didn't really sit well with me, and so I wanted to come up with something on my own, and feel like was better branded, better you know sense, and that's sort of why sort of how this was born.
Awesome. Well, I didn't see any more questions in the chat. So I want to thank you all for being here.
Yep.
Ron, thank you. It's great to talk to you and kind of
Yeah.
hear your take on
Thank
some
you,
of these
Brian.
things and hear what you're doing. Great stuff, man. I
Appreciate it.
really
Thank you.
enjoy the branding. I really enjoy the scents. A lot of stuff to choose from, guys. So make sure that you have Los Muertos Beer Company. Try them out, and if you do decide to order, you can use the code Banjo15 to save yourself a little bit more. And as always, guys, I appreciate everybody watching, and we'll be seeing you soon. I know we've got some more stuff coming up. By the way, stay tuned for a giveaway announcement I have coming this weekend. Probably going to be giving away a new Beardscape beard trimmer. So if you're in the market for that, you want to make sure you stay tuned to the channel. See you guys.
Have a good one.